Hey guys, who is still up right now on a Saturday night? Who's on with me? I am supposed to be asleep right now. I think it's close to 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have an all-day fitness conference tomorrow morning. It's the annual Manitoba Fitness Council fitness conference at the convention center here in Winnipeg. Hi, Ella. I'm supposed to be, well, I'm in bed. I'm supposed to be sleeping and I can't sleep, and it's usually because when I have a health and fitness conference to go to, it takes a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy, but it takes a lot of energy when you're networking with a lot of people like myself that has a lot of energy, and you're doing a lot of networking and learning how to continue to help people even further. So I can't sleep, and part of the reason why I was just, laying here in the dark, and I started to think about roadblocks and thinking about this isn't traffic reports about roadblocks, it's roadblocks that you guys put in front of you when you think you can't and you actually can. And who's on? Oh, hey, Ella. Who else is on with us? So, I've been in the industry a long time, and I've actually been blessed to have some amazing clients and customers and class participants, I guess. And I just wanted to share, I guess, you know, 5, 6, or 7 clients that have really stood out to me over the years, that people I thought, I was really shocked that they hadn't given up. Roadblocks, what I mean is telling yourself that you can't because you can't change your health and fitness, or you can't change your lifestyle or things in your life because you have constant pain, you have panic attacks, you are dealing with diabetes or irritable bowel syndrome or no energy or OCD, all kinds of things. Those are just a few things coming off the top of my head, but I'll just share with you some of the people I've met over the years that I just really learned a lot from. They were coming to me for help, but I just learned so much. And so the whole point of this video is, if you are putting roadblocks in front of you, I like to say, you know what, get out of your own way. You're standing in your way of moving forward. And a client stands out to me who is on dialysis. Basically, kidney failure, has been on dialysis for many years, and came to me, just wanting to feel better. And you know what? I've become this person that, am I an expert in diabetes? Am I an expert in dialysis? Am I an expert in cancer? Am I an expert in brittle bone disease? No, I'm not an expert in those areas. But what I am an expert as is moving people. And I firmly believe that if you have arms and legs or something we can move and you get through the door or you contact me, I can move you in some way. You either come to the studio and I move you, or you get moving at home with a program. So this client of mine, hi Rihanna, yes, I am in bed. I should be sleeping. I have a health and fitness conference in the morning at the convention center. I can't sleep till I get this topic off my chest, and then I'll be able to go to sleep. So this dialysis client came to me and was in pain. If you know somebody that has kidney failure and that has been doing dialysis, it is very painful. And here's the thing. So the individual came to me and we started out doing exercises, just sitting on a chair. And, you know, had a hard time breathing, had a hard time getting in the chair, getting out of the chair when they first came. And basically the goal was to just be able to move and get through the 30 minutes of stretching in a chair and doing things like bicep curls and shoulder raises without weights. I mean, that was just the goal. And what started happening was they went from not being in pain all day long, but actually having, and this is going to sound kind of minor, but they actually had an hour after exercise, an hour pain-free. And for someone who's in pain all the time, that is huge. So then they came for the next time. And afterwards, 2 hours pain-free. Afterwards, as the time went on, 4 hours pain-free. Half a day pain-free. Whole day pain-free. 2 days pain-free. So what I'm saying is, if you're putting roadblocks in front of you, saying, I can't because I'm in pain, I have arthritis, my knees hurt, I have irritable bowel syndrome, I have the kids, I have work. Here's the thing. Life is life, no matter what happens. You just have to get out of your way. And if these people can do it, so can you. So this person that has dialysis twice a week for years is now finally, because they've added exercise, is having days pain-free and working out, not only coming to the studio with me one-on-one, but actually continuing and doing the exercise at home, and has worked their way up to doing it a couple times a day at home, a series. And so that is just phenomenal to me. I'm using some pretty terrific examples, but I just sort of want to shock you maybe into making a change and not waiting until things get really rough. I'll use another example. A few years ago, I had a client come to me with brittle bone disease and a condition that their heart rate could not go over 135, but they had to lose weight. So here I have a client who, could trip and fall and just break every bone if they accidentally tripped and fell. We're so fragile. But yet I had to have them moving to get the heart rate up for cardio. But yet the watch would go off. It's like 1 a.m. and I can't think of what I'm trying to think of, but the heart rate monitor, yes, would beep so that this person wouldn't go past 135. And I'm like, oh, wow. So what I'm saying is this person still wanted change. And I got them change. And how I did it was, am I an expert in brittle bone disease? No. What I am an expert in is moving people. What did I do? I dug into my toolbox. I'm a yoga instructor, and it means those of you yoga instructors know how important breath is. I used my yoga training to teach him to control his breath so that his heart rate wouldn't go out of control, because if you breathe in and out through your nose, it controls your heart rate. I literally taught this man how to breathe in and out through his nose so he wouldn't go past 135, but he would still lose weight and not trip and fall and break into a million pieces. Like, I know that's an exaggeration because I'm tired and I'm in bed, but that was my first case with brittle bone disease. So, get out of your own way. You can move what you have. Let me use another example. If you're not sold yet, get out of your own way. I see a lot of cancer recovery people. So picture this. I have clients coming to me who have had the chemo, the radiation, the whole deal. They're wearing their wigs. They come, they want a home workout program. So first I take them through a fitness assessment, and they want to take their wigs off because they're hot to wear. Okay, how would I know that? How would you know that, right? So they take their wig off, they're in a safe place, no judgment, and here they are doing their workout in a comfortable, safe place. Are they tired? Are they in pain? Are they almost on the verge of giving up? Yes. But they're still making that effort to make change. And I've seen it so many times, people recovering from cancer and then coming to me through cancer care and various other avenues. Am I an expert in cancer? No. Do I claim to be? No. What am I an expert in? Well, I won Canada's top trainer for a reason. I am an expert at moving people. And I just need to find common ground and dig into my toolbox to see what works. And so these cancer recovery people, they continue on at home, doing their programs at home. So guys, if you're putting roadblocks in front of you, get them out of the way. I'll use another example. I have a client that's been with me for a couple of years now, does one-on-one with me, comes to the studio twice a week, plus works out at home with a program every single day. She's in her late 80s, and when she was in her 40s, she had brain tumor the size of a baseball at the back of her head, right at the base of her skull. And so when they removed it, and she had an amazing job. She worked for the city, and she had an amazing job, amazing career, and was doing really well. And she had this happen right out of the blue. And the doctor said, like, when they went in and they got it all and everything, they said she would never dance again and that she would never sing again because that area was affected. Am I a brain surgery specialist? No. Do I claim to be? No. I am a specialist in moving people. So this lady got a hold of me. She had been riding the bus past our studio on Henderson Highway here in Winnipeg. She'd been riding her bus, and she kept seeing our sign, this huge sign outside of our building talking about, fitness classes, personal training, whatever. And I guess what had happened over the years was every single person that she went to looking for help, whether it was a personal trainer or what, she was constantly told no, and doors were slammed in her face for years. So she never properly recovered with, physical activity and exercise and stimulation. So this went on for years. She finally calls me, and it was sort of like that last call. She told me this later. She said when she phoned me, if I was going to say no, that was it. After 40 years, she was just going to give up and say forget it. But anyways, I was the last call. And I remember this little voice on the other line, and she was repeating herself a lot. This was a side effect. Constant repetition going in the circle over and over again, the same thing over and over again. And now this lady could have given up. I mean, this was like 40 years of trying to find somebody to help her. I'm the last call. And I remember this little voice saying, can you help me? And I said to her, I don't know what we can do. I'm not sure what I can do for you. But if you can get to my studio, I can move you. Am I an expert in brain surgery? No, but I'm an expert in movement and motivation. So she got to my studio. I pulled out a chair because, yes, I have a certification which involves exercise in a chair. And she lasted, I think her first session was 10 minutes. And when she came through the door, she was constantly repeating. I heard the same thing for 10 minutes. She hardly got in the chair, hardly got out of the chair. Probably took her longer to get to the studio and longer to get to the studio than it was to even get through her program. So fast forward, she keeps coming twice a week. I give her a program at home and I'm working on her coordination. Hi, Terry. For those of you that are just joining me, yes, I am in bed and I have a fitness conference in the morning. I couldn't sleep and I had to talk to you guys about roadblocks. And right now, I want you to get your roadblocks out of the way. Whatever's holding you back from changing your health and fitness, get it out of the way. Okay, I'll continue talking about my client here, the brain surgery client. So, hi, Terry. I don't know what that little thing is I can't see it. But anyways, contacts are out, glasses are off. I'm blind. Just kidding. Anyways, fast forward, the little lady's in her late 80s. She comes to me. She's repeating herself all the time because she's had this brain tumor. And I'm trying to get her to move, and she needs to move. And anyways, long story short, she comes twice a week. Plus, she does her exercises at home. Hi, Terry. And she was told she would never sing or dance again. In less than a year, I took that woman from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. She can now stand on one leg. She's been with me a couple of years now, 2, 3 years. I had her singing 2 lines. She was told when she had the brain tumor removed that was the size of a baseball that she lost that ability. With the stimulation of exercise and just the stimulation of coordination, I believe it gave her what she needed, something fired up. And she sang 2 lines in front of me. And then she was told she never had the coordination to dance again, and I actually had her doing dance steps in my studio. This little lady's in her 80s. She has to take a bus to get to my studio. It takes her longer to get to my studio and get her shoes changed and get seated in the chair, and she comes with a cane and this whole deal. So what I'm talking about, guys, are those of you that are putting roadblocks in front of yourself. I can't do it because I'm busy and I have the kids and I have this and I have that and I have pain and I have joint pain, I have irritable bowel syndrome and I'm a panic attacker and I'm not belittling any of those issues, but I think, some of you might be using those as crutches and you've been saying it for so many years that you think there is no way out. There is a way out. And I think that if I explain to you all these amazing examples of people I worked with over the years and continue to work with, people that you think should have just given up. Let me think of another one. We talked about my dialysis client, kidney failure. We talked about, who else? Oh, we talked about the brittle bone disease, brain tumor lady. We talked about cancer, people. I have so many people that come to me with knee pain, joint pain, and to the point where, they can't even walk through the door. And you'd think that, yeah, they'd throw in the towel and say, well, I guess this is my life and I'm going to be in pain and there's no way out. I'm just going to sit in the recliner and wait to die. Well, I just don't, that does not move me. To me, that's not an option. Am I a knee specialist or an arthritis specialist? No. What I am a specialist in is moving people. I have been doing it for over a decade, and I won Canada's Top Trainer in 2015 because I march to a beat of my own drum. I am an intuitive trainer, and I have a lot of tools in my toolbox that I use to help people. Hi, Laura. And I'm trying to think of another example of someone who has really overcome a lot of things. Well, I have had people come to me with a lot of problems with their knees, and I've actually trained them to, strengthen the muscles around the knee for support. A lot of times what happens over the years is people experience pain, but they don't actually get it addressed, so you don't even know what it is. Then you start walking in a shorter gait, which means taking smaller steps. You just start naturally changing the way you do things because you're compensating for the pain, right? So muscles start shortening, you start to become dysfunctional with your body because other muscle groups will just kick in and operate and keep your body moving even though they're doing things that they shouldn't do. Hi, Laura. because the body's an amazing machine and is very adaptable. And if something is going wrong with a muscle group, the neighboring muscles will kick in to get the job done, even though it's not their job, if that makes sense. I talk about the body being like a team of people working together. So I have taken people that have barely walked through the door to sitting and doing exercises and also giving them exercises at home. That's really important to have home programs because, I can't hold people's hands, right? I mean, I'm not with them all the time, so you have to have a program at home. So, for those of you just tuning in, yes, I am in bed. I have a fitness conference in the morning and I couldn't sleep because I just wanted to chat with you guys. So, I'm glad you're still up. Oh, wow, look at my hairdo. Okay, let's leave that for now. So I've taken people through knee surgeries, and rehabilitation from that. Am I a rehabilitation expert? No. I'm a movement expert, and I have a lot of tools in my toolkit, and I also network with a lot of amazing, I network with a massage therapist that we have at our fitness studio. I network with a chiropractor that's actually right across from our studio, and also physiotherapists. I've had a lot of training conferences with physiotherapists, and so I'm one of those trainers that has a great appreciation for other specialists, and I think we can all work together to find the right prescription for each person, and everyone is different. Let me think about some other examples. The other thing is, I find this is huge, and this might touch a lot of you that you have children. Anybody that's pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant or have had kids may have experienced some things during pregnancy or afterwards where your body just, didn't come back together. You just feel like things are not where they should have been. Hi, Carla. So I am a pre and postnatal specialist. I have about 10 different certifications, I think, maybe more by now, but that's roughly covering it, and it covers a lot of bases. And so I've worked with a lot of women who I've worked with them before they got pregnant. I've worked with them through their pregnancies and then afterwards to get their pre-baby body weight back. And I'm sure some of you have heard the term diastasis recti. It's a separation of the abdominal muscles, and it can happen during pregnancy. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's important to know if it's happening to you, or if after pregnancy you're dealing with that, because it is a separation. It's usually, about like this, and it's a separation between the abdominal muscles, and there are special exercises to bring them back together. So I have worked with a lot of women over the years where, again, a roadblock, they say, oh, they think to themselves, oh, I've had diastasis recti and I don't have any abs, and I've had 3 cesarean sections, and I'm never going to have abs again. I'm never going to have this again, have that again. That is the roadblock. That is you stepping in front of yourself, thinking that you can't move forward. I'll use an example. I took a woman in her mid-60s, had 3 cesarean sections, okay? Was not somebody who worked out a lot. And within a year and a half, she had abs. Now, you noticed I said in a year and a half. I don't sugarcoat things. It doesn't happen overnight. Person doesn't have 3 children overnight. Person doesn't have 3 cesarean section overnight, okay? And they were in their mid-60s. So, am I an expert in cesarean sections? No. But I am an expert in pre- and postnatal, and I am an expert in moving people and motivating people and finding a solution to your whatever it is that you're dealing with, your roadblock. Get out of your own way and start moving forward. So that's another great example of I've actually taken women, let me see, they've come on board with me single, then they got engaged, then they got married, got them fit for their wedding, okay? Then they got pregnant, took them through the first pregnancy, got them back to their pre-baby body weight, got into their second pregnancy, got back to their pre-baby body, and then third pregnancy. And this is a combination of classes at my studio, one-on-one with me, And I'd say the biggest thing is having, the programs at home because, like I said, I can't always be with people and holding your hands and watching what you're eating and slapping your hands when you go for a chocolate bar and saying, "Hey, did you get your workout in?" Um, you know what I mean? So I don't want to, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Because it is what, 1 or 1:30 in the morning. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, my job is to give you the tools to move forward, but I don't want you to become so, and I know this is going to sound crazy, because you think that I'd want you to come to me over and over and over and over again, but I want you to become self-reliant. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Being able to do it yourself, right? And feeling in control. Granted, I have clients that have been coming to me twice a week at my studio, one-on-one training for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, some of them. Maintenance. They get to where they want to be, but they just need that maintenance. And then I have people that will come to me, check in once a month, and they work out at home on their own 6 days a week. But I'm still able to keep in touch with them online, in my private Facebook groups, which is very handy because it's 24/7 coverage and support because I have a team in there. I'm only one person. As much as I'd love to clone myself and have 100 of me, I actually have cloned myself, and they're called coaches. And they're in my group, which is great because, like tomorrow I'm going to be in an all-day fitness conference, and I have 50 people in a private group on Facebook that I keep motivated every day to get their workouts in and eat right and feel good. And I won't have a chance to, check in as often as I will. So I have fitness coaches in there that will be checking in on people, and everybody will be motivating everyone. And that's really what it boils down to is, again, even I've done a lot as one person, but I truly believe in a team. Let me talk more about roadblocks. Let me see if I can find an example of, oh, I know. You know what? I bet you somebody on here right now or that will watch later has had an episode or knows somebody who has panic attacks. Um, what's the other word I'm looking for because I'm half asleep? Panic attacks and like difficulty in public, maybe claustrophobic, and just OCD. So I've had clients over the year that have come to me and they literally, when they first come, just look like they're gonna like pass out because they're so stressed out about, being judged when they first meet me because they have no idea what to expect, and so they're just almost sick about the whole thing. What I love to see is that change when someone has made the steps to either work with a program at home I've given them or come to me individually, but they've made that step. They got the roadblock out of the way. They didn't get stuck on the I have OCD and panic attacks. Therefore, I cannot go there and meet with this trainer because I'm so stressed out. They actually got out of their own way. And so I had a client that could not wait for the bus for 10 minutes without having like a severe panic attack, like shakes and all kinds of things. Like would have to leave places because they couldn't handle it. They'd be shopping and then just have to like leave the groceries at the counter at the till and just walk out. And so when these people come through my door, I think great. They moved out of their own way. They've moved their roadblocks out of the way, and they're finally taking those steps. And so, am I an expert at OCD? Do I have OCD? Am I expert in panic attacks? No. What am I an expert as? Moving people, motivating them. So I dig into my toolbox and I figure out what's going to work, and I figure out what program is going to work. For the panic attack OCD people, I have found that the yoga and Pilates programs that I have been the best because you're focused on your breath, mostly breathing in and out through the nose, which slows the heart rate down, which already makes them feel calm. You know what I mean? And then, like if you're doing a cardio or weights program, you kind of want the bright lights so you're not going to go to sleep, right? But when you're doing a yoga and Pilates, you can dim the lights. And so that is calming. So I had this person come and do like half an hour of one-on-one, like yoga and Pilates. I got the mat out, make them feel comfortable, teach them, and then get them to transfer it home. That's the whole thing is, and people just think I'm crazy. And sometimes other trainers think I'm crazy and they think, well, don't you want people to be with you? Like, isn't that the whole idea is you're making money and you want them to be with you and every day and you're hand holding them? No. I want people to learn how to move themselves and do it from home, and I can still keep in contact online on my Facebook group or email or whatever and just have those check-ins. Because bottom line is, I could be on vacation, I could be like tomorrow at an all-day fitness conference, and I'm not available. And I don't want to be people's crutch. I mean, oh, look who's here. Oh, look who's here. Oh, hi, Leia. Oh, wow. Okay. There's my little buddy. She knows I'm supposed to be sleeping too. She finally came to bed. So, I don't want to be people's crutch, for lack of a better word, I don't want you to get out of your own way and move your roadblock, whatever's holding you back, only to have me help you in the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's helping people, and then there's too much. Like, at some point, you need to be able to move forward with support, but don't feel like you need me. You just sort of like you want the connection, you need the help, but you can do it on your own. And I think that is my job as a trainer is empowering others. This is like my first video where I've actually laid in bed and just talked like this at all hours of the night. I remember seeing Shaun T do this. He is Shaun T. If you don't know who Shaun T is, he's one of the top trainers in the U.S. And for those of you that don't know, I'm actually a Beachbody coach as well as an international trainer and co-own Body Balance here in Winnipeg. But so so he is one of those super trainers from Beachbody, and I remember him doing a video a while back because he has some really good topics too. And yeah, he couldn't sleep and he's just laying in bed doing this. So I think that's the passion that I have to help others. That's why I'm in this industry. But I think it's important that I give you the tools to be able to move forward as well without feeling like I'm your crutch. You know what I mean? And I don't know, comment below or send me a private message or an email. Let me know what you're dealing with and what what your roadblock is. And you can even type it below here while everybody's still on, and I can address that roadblock for you, and let's move you out of it. And I used extreme examples like getting people out of roadblocks and moving them forward that had cancer and lost all their hair, and brain tumor and brittle bone disease and dialysis and diabetes and knee replacements and hip replacements and frozen shoulders and diastasis recti for look at this thing. Oh my, that's Leia, my little girl. She's a year old. What a cutie. So I did use some extreme examples, but the reason why I wanted to use those examples is because if you are dealing with a roadblock that you keep putting in front of yourself, and fibromyalgia is another one that I've dealt with clients that have head to toe pain, fibromyalgia. I've been able to help clients with a yoga and Pilates routine for fibromyalgia. It seems to be the It's the breathing, it's the slow motion movements, it's that stretching and strengthening in the joints, in the muscles, in the range of motion. And, and then of course it's nutrition on top of it, right? A lot of these things that are coming up and have been around for years and up and coming is a lot to do with inflammation in the body, and that can be due to certain foods. I just can't get over how cute this is. Look how cute she is. Oh my God. Um, we are almost ready to fall asleep. I may fall asleep live here. So it's a lot to do with food too, with inflammation in your body. So that's another thing. And what's great about, the programs that I have people on, whether they come to see me in person or they're doing their stuff at home, is I include like an all-inclusive, because it's really not about just, losing weight or removing your roadblocks, or it's not just about, exercising. It is about, your food. What are you putting in your body that is increasing that inflammation, which is increasing your pain, and then it just becomes a big circle, and then the other thing is, if you're skipping breakfast, that's not good. And so when I'm helping people, I'm helping them with more than one thing. It's a lifestyle, and it's a whole encompass program. And I think that's what's helped people, I guess, make it sustainable for them, because they get, the workout program plus a meal plan plus a daily shake that has all your nutrition in it, that actually some of the ingredients have been known to reduce inflammation and also have helped my diabetic clients level off their sugars. So, it's a product that has worked for my clients, and I'm just blessed to have these options because am I an expert in all things to do with nutrition? No, I have certain certifications, and you know what I mean? There was a time I used to make my own smoothies at home, but they had you had to drag out 20 different ingredients to get all your proper vitamins and nutrients and minerals. And then I was helping my clients, they'd purchase these smoothie recipes and stuff, but they took so long to make, and they still didn't have all the ingredients they needed. So I was so happy to see that this company that I am now with Beachbody, that they actually had Harvard scientists get together and come up with this amazing stuff that has actually helped so many of my clients. So because I can't be an expert in everything. I'm an expert in moving people and motivating people, and I need to have, a team, and I need to be able to have, I guess it's a tool for me, to help people. It's a tool in my toolbox, these shakes, to help people with what they're dealing with. And so I think that's really important. So I'm hoping that you got something from this video. If you have been tuning into my other videos, I want you to know that I'm approachable. I know that when I won Canada's Top Trainer, what happened was people just didn't want to approach me. They thought I was, too busy and wasn't going to make time for them, and I don't know, whatever. And yes, I have a busy lifestyle, and we all do. But this is what I do, is I have a passion to help people. I want to be approachable. I want you to be able to feel comfortable to send me a private message or an email and say, look, you know what? This is my roadblock, and it has been for years, and can you help me get out of my own way? That's basically what I want to hear from you, is tell me what you're dealing with, and I'll dig into my toolbox and come up with a solution. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Send me an email, sandyknox@gmail.com, or send me a private message on Facebook. And let me know, if there was any key points that stood out to you in this video that helped you, or tell me what your roadblock is, like what gets in your way that you just can't seem to get past to move forward. And I would love to help you. So I think I'm officially now tired, and now the cats are waiting to go to sleep. So I will sign off for now. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm going to learn lots at the fitness conference tomorrow, and then I'll just have even more ammunition for the rest of my videos. Thanks so much for being with me, guys. Good night.